is my first time doing stand-up comedy in Germany. I did have a German bartender once. And somehow it came up I was Jewish, because I brought it up. And immediately he was like, oh, I'm so sorry for the Holocaust. Which, how do you respond to that as a Jew? No worries. Don't let it happen again. I didn't know, so I just said, could I get a free beer? And he was like, I would, but my boss would get mad. I was like, I get it, you're just following orders. Oh yeah, that's right, Germany. I've been talking about you guys for a long time in America, and it's time to say it to your face. I do follow the news here to a degree, especially during COVID. You guys were much stricter about COVID than us. And I'm not going to talk about COVID. I'm so sick of washing my hands every time I shit. It's enough. But you took COVID very seriously here. I remember seeing Angela Merkel on the news. It was translated, but it said it was during the holidays, and she told you guys, like, stay at home, don't kill your grandparents. I just wish you would felt the same way about my grandparents. Don't worry, I'll space out the Nazi jokes as best I can. But I got a lot of them, I gotta tell you. I got a lot of them. But they're not all about Germany. I mean, you've read, the Nazis are back in America. I think it's a great chance for you guys to rebrand. When people complain about the Nazis, you can be like, yeah, those fucking Americans, I hear you. It is nice to be here. It was nice to get a vacation from school shootings. God. There's so many school shootings in America, you probably know every state by now. And they taught me geography in middle school, but it's easier learning at gunpoint. What are the gun laws like here? Strict. Good. As a person on stage with lights on them, I'm very pro gun control. You live here? Born here? Where? Elon? Italiano. What made you come here? I felt like he was trying to speak to me through like our mother tongue or something. I said, why did you move here? He said, Italiano. And I'd be like, oh, see you then. I have the super Italian name, Gianmarco Soresi, and every time Italians hear my name, they think I speak fluent Italian. They come up, they're like, buongiorno, come va? And I have to be like, oh, no, I don't speak to Italians. That joke did not do well in Milan, I'll tell you that. Performing here feels like a victory in and of itself. I bet Hitler would kill himself again if he knew you imported a Jew for a speech. I like German audiences because for some of you it sounds like this is the first time you've ever laughed in your entire life. I hear you discovering laughter as it's happening. You're like, oh, 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 like the book. Exactly. You have a great laugh. Are you German?
Yes.
Yes. How's it feel? Joy.
It's the most random things that I just burst into these laugh.
Do you see how she doesn't even know how to talk about it? It's crazy. I say a setup and then a punchline and I go, air! It comes out of my mouth. You know, we only had one show here. I had no idea how to do it. Fucking, this place is packed. I feel really excited. You guys are good. You're good fans. Obviously, there's weird people. I had a show in New York once where a woman who's coming to the show. The show is at 7:30 p.m. or for you guys, 19:30. And And this woman, I didn't know her, but she wrote me on Facebook at 1 p.m. She was like, she said, I have tickets and I'm in line for the show. And not to poo-poo myself, you don't need to show up at 1 p.m. for any of my comedy shows. And it made me feel embarrassed. That's like if you're about to have sex with someone and they started like doing yoga just to get ready for it, and you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a lot of corpse pose. You really don't have to be doing all this. And I was getting bad vibes, and sure enough, this whole show, this woman, she was in the front row. She like kept falling out of her chair and slapping the stage, and she knew some of the jokes from social media. And she started shouting out the punchlines, and so I very as politely as I could, I kind of like said, oh, she needs some water, and they escorted her out, and it seemed like it was okay. But then I went back on Facebook after the show, and she had written me. She said, fuck you. You broke my heart. She said, I hope Hitler comes back so he can put you in a concentration camp so you can write some new material. And I was like, you have a deep misunderstanding of what concentration camps were. This wasn't like an artist retreat situation. That wasn't Hitler's big gripe with the Jews, like, it's the same jokes over and over and over again. Good, I want to tell that one in Germany, it just felt fitting. So you two are dating?
Yeah.
How long?
2 years.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you meet?
MySpace AIM in 2004.
Okay. Wait, okay, but just 2 years.
Yeah.
So you met on AIM?
Yeah.
Years ago. Yeah.
No, I know it was years ago. We met on the Oregon Trail. Not last year or anything like that. Okay, so what was your AIM name?
Mr. 12,000. Of course.
Of course? What does that mean? What was your AIM name?
I think Sarah Loser Kid.
And you were like, that's my gal. Low self-esteem. I'm getting in there, baby. I just need 19 years and she's mine. Okay, so you met on AIM like in a chat room? Like
He liked the same
Through
music as my
mutual
best
friends.
friend
okay.
on MySpace.
On MySpace. And
Yeah.
then you do MySpace, AIM, and then what happened?
We stayed social media friends, and he put out good music, and I was like, yo, that's some good music.
I mean, not that good right out the gate. It took a long time. You were like, yo, that's getting there. Yo, yeah. So then, did you meet in person during any of this time?
No, we met.
What was the song that fucking changed it? That's got to be the best song in the world. Was it one song, or did he go for it?
It was the whole album. It was good.
It was the whole... Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Being a musician fucking rocks. When I put out a good comedy album, it's just some white virgin who's like, I want to be a stand-up comedian someday. I don't get any pussy from it at all. It's insane. That's exciting. So you wrote him after the album?
Yeah. And then we
So we
talked.
reconnected.
Yeah, we talked for 3 months, and I finally booked a flight here. I flew.
You flew to Indianapolis? Holy shit.
My first date from like DC. But,
DC. God, can you imagine flying to Indianapolis for some dick? I can't even imagine. Ariana Grande could write me, and I'd be like, Indianapolis? I don't think so. I'll wait for the next tour stop. So do you live here now?
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's love for sure. Move to DC, are you out of your goddamn mind? Cost of living.
Yeah, cost of living.
What's the music scene like here in Indianapolis?
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Slippery noodle.
band? Is that a venue? I don't even know. What is that?
Like, we got music, for sure.
Yeah. What was that he just said? Was that
Blues club?
It's a blues club.
Yeah, they play blues.
And you shit on it. You were like, that's the slippery noodle. So that's probably the nicest venue you have here in this entire place. It's like the slippery noodle or fucking here. All right. Even musicians, when they come here, they do stand-up comedy. That's why T.I. is downstairs and not at the slippery noodle. Because he's like, that place is a piece of shit. I'd rather do a whole different art form. Do you have divorce parents?
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Sad music boy. Putting songs on MySpace. Maybe a girl will like it. And she did! That's what's crazy about this! Don't tell people about this story. You'll inspire thousands of sad boys to release music onto the internet. And no one's gonna fuck them. No one's gonna fuck them. She lucked out she got a good-looking musician out of this one. Like, there's plenty, she'd be like, I love the album. Oh my God! I see why the cover was animated. Anyone have a fucked up Thanksgiving?
Ish?
What was Ish?
Oh,
Yeah. What happened?
Ish. For me, it was a month ago because it was Canadian Thanksgiving.
So, can you? What's the story behind? Because ours is like obviously an imaginary thing with like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, and they had a great meal, and they were like, "Let's be friends," and then all the Native Americans disappeared. What's a Canadian Thanksgiving? It's like you do genocide, but then you say you're sorry at the end.
Pretty much. It's like, yeah, I think it's pretty much like the same thing, just a month earlier. And we acknowledge it a little more than the States do. But that's it.
Sure. That's the only difference. It's like, oh my God. Like, did you guys have like a tragedy on August 11th, 2000? Well, how? Okay, so you're from Canada. Tell me, like, compare to me, like, obviously every country in the world, they have some kind of bullshit myth story for their origin. How does Canada's compare to America in terms of like honesty?
I feel like the bigger...
That's a PhD question, by the way. Just I know, don't be stressed, but
I feel like the bigger issue is like, I guess, honesty, but also like so nice, and then they're like, oh yeah, we are nice, and then get away with a ton of awful shit.
Sure. As opposed to us, we're like, fuck you, we don't give a shit if we're nice or not. We're the greatest country in the world.
Trudeau wore blackface to my school.
What was that?
Trudeau wore blackface to my school.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Never mind. I hear blackface. I'm like, let's go. Here, we need to hear the rest. Wait, Trudeau wore blackface to your school?
Yeah.
What?
Teacher at my school, and he wore blackface to a gala there, and the school liked it, and the teachers who are like in the picture with him are now the headmasters of the school.
Yeah.
I wear it all the time.
That's funny now until he starts wiping off his makeup and says, it's me, Justin! Alright, good to know Canada's just as fucked as we are. I think about it all the time. Because I think that's a problem. We all, at least we were taught this like very fake version of history, and then not all of us got the necessary updates along the way. So that's why we're all having different conversations with like different people, because they had different history. Like that's like if you're talking to friends about like having sex, and one was like, wait, what about the stork? And you're like, wait, no one... That's what it feels like when you talk about history to some people. I mean, because in my school they taught us in kindergarten. They taught us the whole story about John Smith and Pocahontas, and they fell in love, and they got away with that because we didn't have any Native Americans there to be like, I heard a different version of that fairy tale. It's. I mean, and you can tell what they prioritize because they don't teach cute versions of every part of history. They never made a Disney musical movie, a cute version of the Holocaust. Do you know why? Because Walt Disney didn't believe it happened. Good. New joke. I feel good about it. I'm going to Toronto soon. Anyone from Toronto? Okay. What about Appleton, Wisconsin? Burlington, Vermont? Cleveland? Huntsville, Alabama? Atlanta? Yes, okay. Thank God. What's funny about Atlanta?
Nothing.
I'm no longer going to Atlanta. Springfield, Missouri? Raleigh, North Carolina? Yes. Okay, what's funny about Raleigh?
I don't know, sports are starting up. We're a big, like...
Do I look like I got sports jokes in the tank? God damn it! Dayton, Kentucky. Bloomington. Yeah. Yes? Indianapolis?
I'm from Bloomington.
In Indianapolis.
It's Indiana.
Fuck, in Indiana. It just says in. Anyone from Morgantown, West Virginia? Washington, D.C.? Yeah. What's funny about Washington, D.C.?
I'd say it's where all the high school class presidents come to live.
It's also where all the regular presidents go to live. Anyone from Lexington, Kentucky? Dallas, Texas?
Born there.
Born there? What's funny about there?
I fucking got out.
You got out. You said it like it was like tell me about it.
Adopted at birth, and from what I've heard about Dallas, it's better than I got.
Did you get out of the family too, or just this? Or did the family move?
Family lived in a truck.
Okay, so did you hopped in another car like on the freeway?
Two Jews came to pick me up from Texas.
We told you not to talk about it in public. I'm sorry, two Jews? What do you mean they just came to pick you up?
They adopted me.
Oh, they adopted you. That's the term. That's the way you phrase it. Anyone from Chicago, Illinois? Yeah? Who was that back there? No? Did you? Oh, DC. We already did that one.
I know. You didn't hear what I said.
What did you say?
There's no black people anymore.
How do you want me to use that exactly? Hey, everybody. Whoa! Where's all the black people? All right, last one. Anyone from Stamford, Connecticut? Fuck! Son of a bitch! Okay, I'm gonna use that as a promo. It's gonna be so good when I edit it. You're gonna be like, wow, I don't remember it being that fun. My parents got divorced when I was 7 days old. So, like most kids, my first word was mama, but my next 5 were told me to tell you. And my dad went on to get married 5 times. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to someone's 5th wedding, but no one can take it seriously. Everyone's in Crocs. It's BYOB. And by the 4th stepmom, I was so bitter. I was just like, I'd learn your name, sweetheart, but you'll be gone by Christmas. And that was a lollipop because I was 9. So all of that left me with very mixed feelings about marriage. Until I met a woman in college named Laura. And Laura, she looked like a young Audrey Hepburn, but like with the neuroses of an Annie Hall. She had these big, not like sexy librarian glasses, more like helpful librarian glasses. And they magnified these very small blue eyes that would just disappear when she smiled. And she smiled every time I walked in a room. I loved her, and I never wanted her to look at me
the way that my mom looks at my dad. So after we graduated, I broke up with her. She moved to LA, and rather than process any of my feelings, I went backpacking around Europe for 3 months. I went all over Europe. I started in Sicily, then I went to Rome, Berlin, Amsterdam, Paris, back to Amsterdam, Dublin, Lisbon. This is not an accurate map, but the final stop was Interlaken, Switzerland. All I could think about was Laura. Like, did I make a mistake? Should I call her, beg forgiveness, ask her to marry me? And that's when I saw a brochure for skydiving. And I thought, oh, I'll just do this instead. Because Switzerland is actually the #1 place to skydive, according to the brochure. So I signed up to go tandem jumping the next day. Tandem jumping, that's where you're strapped to someone who's brave on your behalf. And I was very nervous, so instead of going to bed that night, I decided to Skype with Laura. Now, we were broken up, but she was still generous enough to talk to me, you know, if I was having like an existential crisis. So, you know, we talked a lot. And with the time difference, it's probably like 6 in the morning when she answers her Skype, and I'm on the screen freaking out, like, tell me I don't have to go skydiving. And this is the first she's heard of any of this. So she's like, honey, deep breaths. You don't have to go skydiving. And I was like, no, I need you to push me, please. And she was like, oh, I misread that. You totally should go skydiving. And I was like, why? Because you want me to die? And I'm a lot. And we just went back and forth until finally I burst into tears. And I was like, all right, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but if I do, and if the parachute doesn't go off, I just want you to know that you will be the last thing that I'm thinking about. Which probably isn't true. I mean, the last thing I'll think is like, ah! But I had to wrap up the call because the van was there to take me to the airfield because we'd been Skyping for 7 hours. Yeah, and so I said goodbye. I kissed the camera. It was gross. And I get into the van. It's one of these big vans, no seatbelts in the van. And the driver can see that I've been crying. So he's like, dude, you are more likely to die on this car ride right now than you are skydiving. I'm like, great, more things to be scared about. They dress me up in this full body neon orange jumpsuit, which I think is like, so, you know, if the parachute doesn't go off, they can find my body in the woods. And I have to crawl onto the plane. It's a tiny plane. It could fit on this stage. I think it was made by Hot Wheels. And we start going up into the sky, and they strap me up behind me to my tandem jumper. And it's this very, very cool Australian guy named Elon. And to try to like get my mind off this, I just try to get to know him. I was like, hey, Elon, you married? And he was like, nah. And I was like, oh, do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? And he was like, nah. And I was like, oh, do you have any pets? And he was like, nah. If I disappeared, I don't think anyone would notice. Time to jump. Boom! I'm scooting to the edge, straddled by a suicidal skydiver, I think. And right as my feet are hanging over the plane, that's when I decide, you know what? I'm not gonna go skydiving. I don't care if there's no refunds. I'm gonna cancel this. But then I think something snapped. I think something went off in my head because for the first time in my life, I heard a voice in my head that was not my own. And it said, you can't die, Gianmarco. You're the main character. 3, 2, 1, we jumped. And guys, you have got to go skydiving. It was amazing. You have to go. It was raining, but we were above the clouds, so I was like raining onto the rain. And then you know, Eben pulled the parachute, thank God. I'm Jewish, but just in case. And then you just float for like 5-10 minutes. And it was this beautiful view of the Swiss Alps, just like snow and lakes. It was the first time in so long that I didn't have any distractions. It was just like me alone with my thoughts and Eben. And It took falling miles above the Swiss Alps for me to go, what am I doing? Obviously, I love Laura. And if I'm willing to jump out of a plane for no reason, I can certainly marry her for every reason in the world. So the moment we land, I threw up everywhere. I mean, it had been a long day. You've heard. Very hard day for me personally. But the moment I clean up, I go to get my phone, I call Laura, she doesn't pick up. I call her again, she doesn't pick up. And I didn't find out until like months later, but the reason she wasn't picking up is because she was at a friend's birthday party where she was meeting for the first time her now husband. Because life does not wait until you're ready to jump. Thank you. I don't really have any material about Israel-Palestine. I do think with everything going on with Israel and Palestine, it is the first time my black friends have ever been nervous to talk to me about something. They're like, hey, shalom. And then they start stammering. They're like, and I'm like, whoa, that is cultural appropriation. I don't fucking know. I've had some tough conversations with my more conservative parents. When you talk about Israel-Palestine, it makes you miss those kind of like easier to swallow debates like trans women playing sports. I mean, compared to Israel-Palestine, that was a cakewalk, you know? Now when my transphobic friends are like, do you see, this trans woman played volleyball, took out a little girl. I'm like, only one? Good. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I have an Israeli barber. He does my beard. And while he was cutting my beard, he was asking me about my thoughts on Israel and Palestine. And I noticed that the closer the blade got to my throat, the more I became pro-Israeli. That's how it feels talking about that conflict while wanting to succeed in Hollywood. It's tough because even if you want to critique Israel, the problem is there are anti-Semitic people out there. I've seen them. People say all that shit. People say to my face, they say the Jews run Hollywood. And I'm like, well then how about a fucking thank you? Have you ever sat through a Christian movie? They fucking suck. Oh no, the main character died. I wonder if he'll come back to life again, you fucking hacks. They say all sorts of shit. They say the Jews run the banks. People complain about the Jews so much. You know what? They sound like fucking Jews. They say the Jews run the banks. Then take your money out. But they never do. They never take the money out. You know why? They don't trust their money will be protected by the cops, because the cops are not run by the Jews. We would, but we're kosher. I like that joke because the people who would be offended by it don't fucking get it. I went to the 6th floor book repository today, which is, I guess this is the place where Lee Harvey Oswald stationed himself when he killed JFK. When you walk in, there's a sign that says, no firearms. I was like, it's a little late for that. They had a very cool exhibit there about this comedian named Vaughn Meader, who you might not know about, but he was very famous in the 60s for his John F. Kennedy impression. And I mean, he sold out theaters, he had multiple albums, and then JFK got killed. Vaughn Meader lost all his gigs, and he ended up shooting himself in the head. He stayed in character to the very end. That's a joke. It was lung cancer that got him in the end. But it's so wild to think about, losing your comedy career because someone else gets murdered. I mean, thank God my Jeffrey Epstein impression never took off. The 6th floor book repository, honestly, the whole experience starts before you even walk in because there's all of these conspiracy theorists outside. Yes. One of the things they love to harp on, they're like, why is there only one video of JFK getting killed? And I was like, because this was before iPhones. If JFK was killed now, there'd be 1,000 TikToks of his head bouncing around with dog ears everywhere. People love JFK. I've heard people say JFK is their favorite president, which is weird because he never finished a term. That's like when I asked my mom, which of your 4 kids is your favorite? And she was like, the one I had aborted. They like JFK because they've cleaned up his image so much. Like, I saw this museum. This museum had covered everything about JFK, except for the fact he had an affair with Marilyn Monroe. Let me tell you, if I'm killed and they make a museum about me, and at some point in my life I slept with Beyonce, that better be a full fucking floor. You understand? I want full-size dioramas of every position we did it in. I want the original towel I wiped her off with. I want conspiracy theorists like, you hear Beyonce's a squirter? That's what really killed him. It's basically a memorial to JFK in the place where the guy killed him from. That's like if they build a memorial for the Iraq War in George Bush's house. Round of applause if you're divorced parents. Make some noise. Yes.
I'm an identical twin, so maybe I'll blame it more.
You're an identical twin?
Yes.
Like the Parent Trap. Where's your twin?
I'm visiting to see you, but she's back at home. She asked me to say hi to you.
No. I thought you were supposed to do the same shit. What the fuck? I got 1 fan for the price of 2. I have so many questions. Do you like each other?
Yeah.
Are you very similar?
Yeah, we're like mirror twins, so we look identical, but we have like opposite personalities.
Did you guys know that term, mirror twins?
I'm right-handed and she's left-handed.
Oh my God. What else? Tell me more.
I love red, she loves blue, I love chocolate, I love vanilla. We have the same eye prescription, but switch.
You're like, I'm Jewish, she's a Nazi. You like me, she likes Matt Rife. It's, Oh my God, that's so weird. Do they study you for science?
They tried when we were in university, but
They tried?
they would offer us money to study us.
What did they want to study?
Like our sleep patterns.
Oh, God. Do you sleep on your stomach? She sleeps on her back? Some weird shit like that? What kind of money? I would do every study I could.
We talked about it, but then we were like, one day.
Yeah, one day. Have you ever played any pranks with it?
Yeah.
Tell me a prank. God, I wish I had a twin.
Like we've switched classes for the entire day, and like none of the teachers knew. We had like.
They're like, yeah, she's just as stupid as she was yesterday. That's the nerdiest fucking prank I've ever heard in my life. You take algebra today, okay? They didn't even know. Are you dating someone?
Yeah, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah? Have you ever tested to see if you could test? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what was the test?
I did it over the phone.
You did it over the phone?
Yeah, so her twin sister called me, and I was like, what do you want?
Is that how you answer when she calls you? What do you want?
I could tell by the voice. It sounded different.
It sounded different?
Yeah, and I was like, why didn't you just call me from your phone? Like, what?
Okay, and were you testing him to see if you could tell?
Yeah.
I heard them both laugh when I said, what?
Oh, sure.
Why is your sister
What was the test? They're like, hey, I'm touching myself. And you're like, I can tell it's your sister because I'm rock hard right now. It'd be cool. You get jerked off with the left hand. That'd be fun. You're kosher too? Is that what you were saying?
No, I'm just brown, so I don't eat red meat.
Don't be racist.
Well, that's the stress. You said I'm brown, and then your boyfriend said, "Don't be racist." What? Oh, they're married.
My
Oh, this is your
boyfriend is
husband.
here today.
Your boyfriend's not here
No,
today.
no,
Okay.
no. So please talk shit about him.
No, I'm saying, do you see how not racist it was? I could have said brother, that would have been racist, wouldn't it have been? But I said no, I said boyfriend, no matter what.
So I have a couple of struggles. First of all, I don't like onions.
You don't like onions?
I don't like onions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, what a struggle that is. Incredible.
Oh, my boyfriend hates me for it. I don't eat cilantro, I don't eat red meat, and I'm a diabetic.
I know why your boyfriend didn't want to come out tonight. I'd rather go out where there's no food with you, sweetheart. Let's just... where is he?
He's in Arizona. We're doing long distance. So
Long distance.
he's in school.
He's in school. How did it start, and then how did it become long?
We met while we were interns here. He interned here in California.
Interned, and then he moved.
No, he's always been in school.
Oh, he's always
He
been in
came for
school.
the summer.
What kind of internship was this?
NASA JPL.
NASA?
Yeah, like we're engineers.
Next time the spaceship explodes, just know there were two interns that had the best sex of their entire life. How's long distance going?
It's going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see him. I will see him in 2 days.
You're seeing him in 2 days?
Yeah, I shaved and everything.
She said she shaved and everything.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Sure.
And so is
Do you try like what is it? Is it Zoom sex now? Is that what the kids are calling it?
No, it's FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
And you just put the phone.
Angle and correctly.
I don't know. My girlfriend said she wanted to try phone sex, so I gave her the number for some of my friends. I don't know. That's.
Okay, they also do have like Bluetooth controlled like toys.
Whoa, Bluetooth controlled
Where
toys.
it's next to my
And listen, this is a NASA lady, so this is like fucking high-powered shit. It's like, oh, send me to the moon! Oh, turn it all the way up to Challenger explosion! Do you do that?
No.
Do you?
Oh, sorry. What's the
Do you use the Bluetooth thing? You do? What is it? Like a piece of cloth that goes like, and you have to be like, oh, it's.
No, it's a toy, but it has a specific chip in it that allows you to connect it to Wi-Fi. And so once it's on Wi-Fi, then another person can control it.
And how do they like? Is your boyfriend on the phone just like? He's switching hands. But it's just for you. You don't have like a version for him.
That exists, but
That exists?
It exists.
We put the phone in your mouth? How does it? There's no way this is good.
it gets Tom going.
Okay, good, good.
It's enough.
Did someone say TMI?
Yes.
Wait, do you have someone in your life?
Yes,
But you live with him?
yes.
Okay, well one day if he moves to Arizona, believe you me, you're gonna be on Google like Panties, NASA. You know how you see a star and you actually see what that star was like a year ago? Have you ever heard what I'm talking about? Yeah, NASA over here? Yeah. You're like, oh fuck, I was coming in class during that lesson. But I saw her on her cell phone earlier in the show. I was like, what are you doing on that phone right now? She was on her phone just like, are you there yet, sweetheart? Yeah, it is good, isn't it? You were texting him, weren't you?
I was live tweeting it to him.
You were live?
I had to tell him
What did you tell him? Give it to me, please. Let me see. Just talked about our sex life with a comedian in front of the audience. If I make it on the IG, please murder me. And here's how you know this guy's a sweet guy. He said, LMAO, what the heck did you say? One of these faces. He talked about how his girlfriend has the cilantro gene and he bullied her for it. Okay. All right, I disagree with that characterization. And I was like, my boyfriend is the same. And then he said, also, do you want to go to the Arizona versus Stanford basketball game on Sunday? And then you said, and so he was like, is your boyfriend with you? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, how did you meet? And I said, internship. And he said, where? So I said, NASA. And he said, how long? You're describing every detail. I sent this to me. I'll use it for captions on the video. And he said, how is long distance and how do you make it work? And asked about phone sex, and I was like, well, there's wireless toys. And we talked about it, and And I was like, well, there's wireless toys. And we talked about it, and a white old woman said, TMI. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gianmarco Soresi. Thank you very much. I love San Francisco so much, I almost forgive you for helping make Elon Musk. Have any of you worked for Elon directly? Have you? Yeah? What did you do for him?
I work for a federal government agency that he's currently dismantling.
You're going to have to be more specific. Which one?
The U.S. Agency for International Development.
Okay. USAID. What's been going on?
It's been a little bumpy.
A little bumpy, yeah. Do you still have your job? Who knows? Is he there? Like, is he in the room? And
He's on the internet. He offered us a forklift road.
you got the email, the hardcore email, right?
It was a little different for this audience, but yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what it said? Do you have it on you?
I turned my cell phone off.
He's probably listening. Let's be honest. So you're not feeling good? You don't think it's gonna?
They took the spoon emoji off of our computers.
Can you tell me why that's a bad thing?
People were not taking the fork.
I remember George Orwell said the first sign of fascism. First they take the spoon emoji, then they take your freedom! So the fork in the road, he was basically saying, like, it's like, hey, you can either step it up, which, whatever that means. When he says step it up, he means here. And, sorry, my autism was flaring up. And your form of protest was the spoon emoji. You wouldn't dare. Oh, God. That's the problem with liberals. We're like, how are we going to fight back? We'll just keep sending spoon emojis to each other. You got rid of the spoon emoji? Well, then I guess it's fascism wins. So you haven't had to make a decision yet for the fork?
The deadline was Thursday.
The deadline was Thursday. What did they say?
They extended it to Friday.
They extended it. You guys got to decide this fucking Thursday. Are you in or you're out? Okay, we'll push it to Friday. Are you working for the company too?
A different company.
A different one. You're in charge of the removing the spoon emoji. I started taking a CrossFit class. And I like CrossFit. It's very communal. They do a thing at the beginning called the question of the day. So I did a class where the teacher was like, okay, everyone, I want you to go around, say your name, your occupation, and question of the day, your favorite kind of cake. And it was pretty standard. People were like, red velvet, birthday. And then about halfway through, I got to this woman who was like, hi, everyone. My name's Stacy. I'm an accountant. And my favorite cake is tequila. And in my 10 years of doing stand-up comedy, I have never heard a group of people laugh that hard in my entire fucking life. So I started having a panic attack because I couldn't think of a funnier answer than the fucking accountant. So I'm brainstorming in my head, I'm like, okay, my name's Gianmarco, I'm a comedian, my favorite cake is meth. No, it's too hard. My name's Gianmarco, I'm a comedian. My favorite cake is urinal. No, that's gross. I got it. I'm Gianmarco, I'm a comedian. My favorite cake is tequila. Fuck! I look up, everyone's staring at me because I've been mumbling to myself in the corner for a couple of minutes. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, is it my turn? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to improvise. So I walk up and say, hi everyone, my name's Gianmarco. I was a frontline nurse during the COVID pandemic. Urinal. And I fucking won. At some point, I have to address your laugh, and it's like it's a delightful laugh. It's so squeaky. Have you always laughed like this? What do you sound like when you talk?
I've been told that it's also squeaky and
Okay. It was low. For a second, we all thought you'd be like, I've been told that it's a little squeaky and annoying. No, it's very nice. We ever made fun of it as a kid?
I was homeschooled.
Bullying has its place in the world. You were homeschooled here in North Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah. And did you have any siblings, or were you an only student?
I had 3 younger siblings I was raised with.
Okay. How do they laugh?
Well, they don't laugh very much when they're around me.
You took all the laughter out of the household. You sucked it up and it was too much, and that's why it comes out. Homeschool, that's fast. And who's this to you?
I'm trying to steal his girlfriend.
What do you mean? You're doing it wrong. You should be here with her, not him. That's what happens when you're homeschooled. I know how I'll get his girlfriend. I'll take him out to a lovely night of the town.
I'm the friend who came knowing this would happen.
Uh-huh. But...
No, I got him because of your elbows. Because I think your elbows...
What the fuck did you just say? Because of my elbows? What do you mean, my elbows? No one's ever... What do you mean?
I just look at you on YouTube and watch your elbows, and I'm like, you
Is that why all of you came here tonight? Be honest with me. I thought it was for my comedy. But what do you... Okay, I have some questions because I've never noticed an elbow in my entire life. You must... May I ask do you have a thing for elbows? You don't have a thing for... You just noticed them?
No, I was looking at one of your videos and somebody was like, oh, look at his elbows, and then I...
There's someone else? Why aren't they here too?
I don't know. It was on YouTube, so I don't know where they are, but it was a comment.
Describe my elbow to me.
It's not just your elbow, it's how you use it.
Okay. You know what they say, ladies, it's not the size of the elbow, it's how you use it. The elbow, traditionally, it works on, I know you didn't learn this, but it's a hinge function. So there's only so many movements it can make. Oh God, his elbow makes a 90-degree angle, just like yours. Do you believe this is true?
Yeah, she brought me because she said I had comedic elbows.
Comedic elbows.
And I thought it was an insult. And she said, no, it's from this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I like that adjective. That's better in school when they called me gay elbow boy. But stand up. Come here. What the fuck are you talking about? Take it, yeah, sure, take it off, sure. How do you even know what his elbows look like? Roll those sleeves up, let's see this. Okay. Is there really something there? Okay, do something else. Or call the waiter for a check.
Tell a joke.
Here, good. We have a second mic here. Let's just see. All right.
Tell a joke.
Do you know any of my jokes?
I've never heard of you.
All right, tell a joke with your elbows in the style of me. I want to see.
I'm your biggest fan.
Are your parents divorced?
Never married.
Never married. Okay, so it wasn't your fault. That was nice.
Still kind of my fault.
Still kind of your fault. How so?
One night stand.
One night stand.
And my mother was dating my dad's brother.
Is it a one night stand if you see them around the holidays? Okay. And how did they not find out till you were born and you looked? I guess you would look the same.
She had not gotten to that point with. She says.
Whoa. Okay. He didn't even finish the full point. She's like bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
As far as I'm aware, she did not get to that point with my uncle for the one night stand.
Wait, hold up. She did not get. Oh, your uncle, her husband. Dating. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Well, so are you still have a relationship with? Did everyone get along? Are they still friends now?
Not
You still call him your uncle, though.
I am close with both families. They are just not close with each other.
Oh, that's fun. That's a fun little. You're the nucleus. That's wild. Older or younger brother that she cheated on with?
My dad was his younger brother.
Oh! If my girlfriend my younger brother, I would be pissed. Good for you. I'm glad. It's hard. My family's gonna sound kind of fine after that shit. I'm gonna be up here. My parents are divorced. Oh yeah? His dad is his mom's ex-brother. So you two are dating, married?
Engaged.
Engaged. Yeah. Have you had a chance to meet his brother? Do you have a brother?
I do.
That is, did you have a conversation at all of just like, hey, that'd be really f***ed up if you did that.
He's not her type.
He's not her type.
He's also a minor.
That's all.
By the way, that's how guys think versus how women think. He was like, he's not her type. And she's like, it would be a crime if I did. And he's like, that too, but...
My name is Gianmarco Soresi. My dad's Italian, my mom's Jewish, so I'm 100% Italian. kiss each other goodbye. Not everyone's used to it. Like my roommate, who's not Italian, when he first saw my dad and I kiss, he was just like, ew. Do you kiss your dad in public? And I was like, yeah. You know, it'd be weird if I only kissed him in private. Hey, Pops, let's get out of here for a proper goodbye. Now, my father was not born in Italy, but in the 1930s, my grandpa Luigi, that's his actual name, my grandpa Luigi and my grandma Donkey Kong immigrated from the island of Nintendo. Someday that joke's gonna be racist. Someday I'm gonna do that voice, someone in the back will be like, who the fuck do you think you are? And I'll be a smart ass, I'll be like, it's a me, a Mario. And I'll get canceled, I'll have to go on Twitter and be like, I'm so sorry. My parents are divorced. My parents, they got divorced when I was 7 days old. So like most kids, my first word was, Mama! But my next 5 were, told me to tell you. The custody battle got so ugly that when I was old enough to talk, the judge ruled I could decide where I wanted to live. So I moved in with the judge. My parents, they hated each other, but I will say this. Whenever I got cast, like in the school musical, my mom and dad would always show up on opening night. And my dad would bring this big bouquet of daffodils because he remembered my mom is allergic. Went to college for musical theater, and I have a doctorate in imagination. That means I'm what's known even in show business as a triple threat. Threat number 1, I can act. Threat number 2, I can sing. Thank you. And threat number 3. I'm annoying. Last year was very good for me. I made my TV debut last year on Law & Order SVU. Well, thank you, but I played Ice-T's waiter. Small part, but I want to do well for it, so to prepare for the role, I actually became a waiter for 12 years. I used to have one of those jobs where, like, between taking orders, I'd like sing songs and dance on the tables, and that's not what Chipotle is known for. I can't help it. I'm an extroverted introvert. Do you guys know what that is? Yes. Yeah, it basically means that when I'm talking, I'm very extroverted, but if you're talking, I'd rather be alone. Some people call that an asshole, but I prefer a celebrity. I did have one audition a couple years ago for Game of Thrones. And well, obviously I didn't get it, or your tickets would have cost a lot more. But I walked in, I was ready to go, and the director said to me, first, we need to see you.